In order to defeat Dr. Doom, Earth's mightiest heroes will be forced to turn to their most hated foes in the Masters of Evil for help. But will this gambit pay off or end up blowing up in everyone's face? Well, let's hop into the pages of One World Under Doom issue number 3 and find out together, shall we? So then, picking up directly from where the last issue left off, Iron Man is now giving a tour of the Avengers' floating base of operations, the Impossible City, to Dr. Doom and MODOK. Now, don't get it twisted, the Avengers don't like the Masters of Evil, but unfortunately Doom has them over a barrel right now, and the enemy of my enemy is indeed my friend, especially when they're super devious scientists who could hopefully use their big brains to crack the code on how exactly it is Dr. Doom managed to take over the world in such a short amount of time. For what it's worth, the good guys do actually have some new information, despite Dr. Doom's big spiel in the last issue about opening up the borders of the world to everyone everywhere. Turns out he's a bit of a hypocrite and actually hasn't opened up Latveria yet, meaning that he almost certainly has something to hide behind that evil magical barrier, and because of that, the heroes and villains are going to break it all down. Of course, they have to be very careful because Dr. Doom has managed to make fools out of them every other time they tried to come at him, expose him as a liar and a hypocrite, blew up in their face. Try and humiliate him at the UN, he was waiting for them, and well, it blew up in their face all over again. So what exactly is the plan this time around? Well, they're gonna rush him. If that doesn't sound like a very creative plan, that's kind of the point. The Avengers are giving the Masters of Evil a one-time blank check for mayhem, in hopes that Victor will be so distracted dealing with them, aka people he doesn't regularly fight, to the point that the Avengers can actually do the real work of sending Scarlet Witch and a detachment of magical heroes and villains to look into the minds of all of the world's leaders to find out what exactly it is Doom did to them to get all of them to acquiesce to his will. Ah yes, it's a classic Kansas City shuffle ploy. You get everybody looking one way while you end up going the other way. We actually end up getting treated to a very awesome little page wherein the assembled heroes and villains literally meet outside the border to Latveria and unload on its magical shielding all at once. This does indeed end up catching Dr. Doom's attention, who shows up on his massive doppelganger T-Rex. He says if they all wanted to visit, they should have just made an appointment. Oh, but wait, this was a ploy within a ploy. While Dr. Doom met this force head on, the Masters of Illusion, Arcade, and Mysterio were waiting in the wings to shoot Doom with a Murder World sniper rifle. I actually really love how Ryan North characterizes both Mysterio and Arcade in this story. Beck is a total nerd, quoting the rules to D&D, and Arcade just gets all up in everyone's face. Now, Doom is admittedly taken by surprise in this situation, but he's not at all shook, saying that he has complete control over his T-Rex doppelganger, so it doesn't matter what they do to his physical body. For once, though, the Avengers actually do end up having Doom's number on this one and take this opportunity to gang up on Doom T-Rex and hopefully take it out of the fight for good, a fact of which really ends up getting under Doom's skin. And I mean, hey, if I had a pet T-Rex who was also my multiversal doppelganger, I'd probably be protective of it too. With the smokescreen thoroughly laid, Scarlet Witch and her team can actually get to work on investigating the minds of the world's leaders, and what they end up finding is admittedly truly horrible. Oh no, they're not secretly Doombots or clones or multiversal doppelgangers themselves. Hell, they haven't even been brainwashed via magic. No, the truth is actually much worse. You see, using his amazing powers as Sorcerer Supreme, Dr. Doom managed to do in a record time what normally takes years to get done. By being in multiple places at once, Doom literally took all the time he needed to individually break down each world leader, make them fear for themselves and the safety of their nations in the fallout of the big vampire attack from Bloodhunt, swear up and down that he was the only one who could restore order and prosperity to a broken world, and when that wasn't enough, he just simply offered every world leader their heart's desire. Be it money, security, health, sex, or even just revenge, nothing was off the table for Victor Von Doom, and in doing so, he managed to get every leader on Earth to completely roll over for him. He didn't weaponize his magic, he only had to weaponize human nature to get the job done. Which, you know, when I first read this, there was a part of me that said, oh what, really, not a single world leader had any backbone at all to stand stand up to this strongman dictator, and then I thought, no, wait, I watch the news, I live in the world, this unfortunately tracks. Now that the cat is truly out of the bag, Dr. Doom takes this opportunity to gloat. He took his emperor title not by force, but by good old-fashioned coercion. He might not have the will of all the people on Earth, but he has the will of just enough people to justify his rule. Just enough people who really truly felt in their heart of hearts that Dr. Doom could fix all the problems that the superhero community never could, even though, again, it is very transparently obvious to everyone with a set of eyes that Doom isn't doing any of this out of the goodness of his heart or his love for his fellow man. He's just doing it to feed his ego and to prove that he's better than all of the superheroes who regularly ruin his plans. Oh, but wait, we're not done yet. Doom says that while the heroes were here busy messing with him back in New York, a massive breakout has been orchestrated on the raft. And these aren't even the lawful evil villains who are currently fighting alongside the Avengers right now. These are the chaotic evil ones, who will kill and destroy indiscriminately if they're not stopped. Dr. Doom offers the Avengers the chance of a lifetime to join him in stopping these foes, for the betterment of the world at large. Of course, Captain Marvel and the rest of the good guys refuse to believe that this is some sort of coincidence, that this is all happening right now. And even if they did fight alongside Doom, the world would just take it as a quiet endorsement of Doom's reign over the world, so they're not going to do it. They're going to go back to New York on their own and fight the good fight because it's the right thing to do. And you know what? They end up saving the day, and none of it matters because the news media that has already bent a knee to Emperor Doom and his regime completely crucify them on television anyway. Not only do they get torn to shreds for working alongside the Masters of Evil, but furthermore, the anchors say that none of this would have happened if the Avengers weren't so busy harassing Doom over in Latveria instead of doing their jobs. Doom even really rubs some salt into the wound by saying that he's not even mad at the superhero community because he is such a magnanimous leader. He even thanks them for their good work, which probably hurts more than any actual punch he could have ever thrown. Here's the thing though, what Doom doesn't know is that his actions here on Earth actually end up having a much bigger ripple effect than even he could ever consider, for you see, in the dark dimension, Dormammu has been keeping up to date on all of these goings on, and he is royally pissed at what Victor has done with his position as the Sorcerer Supreme, how he is abusing and neglecting these powers, this ancient respected position, to instead decide to play slimy politician. Also, here's another thing, being Sorcerer Supreme isn't just a title, it's an actual job with stuff you gotta do, spells you gotta keep up in order to maintain the cosmic balance. And because Dr. Doom has been so busy screwing with the Avengers and playing president of the world, he's let some rather important business slide, like maintaining the barriers between the prime material realm and the dark dimension. And because those walls are weakened, Dormammu has decided to come to Earth and fight Doom himself as the comic comes to a close. And so that was One World Under Doom issue number 3, everybody. And once again, Ryan North ends up delivering a super smart, super fun, super compelling take on a big superhero crossover event. Just when I think this book is about to zig, it ends up completely zagging. I've said before how I felt this series is an incredibly topical and incredibly timely look at how real-world strongman dictators both rise to power and maintain said power. And here, the subtext basically just ends up becoming text. Strongman dictators rise to power because, well, people allow them to. Either because they're weak, greedy, corrupt, or more than anything, afraid. Doom has managed to play on the world's fears expertly, and now the Avengers have a problem they simply cannot punch. How do they get people to turn away from Doom? Especially when he seemingly had their number every step of the way. I can't remember the last time we have seen Earth's mightiest heroes get defeated so soundly every issue, and yet their defeats are all really fun to watch. Perhaps the real answer to Doom's downfall, though, as explained by this issue, is his very famous, very classic supervillain level of arrogance. Victor thinks he's so great and he's won every step of the way, he never thought for a second that anything could hurt him. And you gotta figure, if he managed to screw up so big with Dormammu because he was busy doing other stuff, what other duties as Sorcerer Supreme could he possibly have forgotten about? Overall, I'd give this issue another very strong 8.5 out of 10. It's only 3 issues in, but if One World Under Doom can stick the landing, I think this is going to be one of my favorite Marvel events in a very long time. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched at the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quests. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.